An NFT, or a non-fungible token, is a unique storage of data. Can't even fucking say it.
Literally copy and paste it off of like a fucking article.
Basically, you can draw whatever the hell you want, with as little effort as you want, and sell it for millions. Why didn't you say so?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Double D Experience. Let me think about this. Always drunk. Wait a minute. Sometimes sober. Sometimes drunk.
Always non-fungible.
But always non-fungible. Woo! Okay, welcome to the Double D Experience, everybody. You guys only gave the last episode 15 listens as of recording this, so you better, if this fucking episode of the Double D Experience doesn't get as many views as Mr. Krabs NFTs get sales, I'm gonna jump out my fucking window.
Oh yeah, David. Everyone's quivering in their boots.
Yeah, we're gonna hear a little shock jock comedy from you. Is that where we're starting out with today, Denise?
Oh yeah, it's a Monday.
It's everybody got a case of Mondays.
It's a Monday and T-minus 19 days till Christmas.
As you telling the guy who works like 50 hours a week and uses the tiny sliver of time he has to record a shitty podcast. Trust me, I'm well aware.
This shit-eating Asian twink of a man.
Dude, oh my god, no, there's this girl I've been talking to, right? And she, like, hit me up with this fucking thing of, like, oh, I have an idea you can get me for Christmas. And, like, she had hinted to me that she wanted, like, this plush from Korra, from The Legend of Korra, right? And I'm like, yeah, you wanted that, like, Korra plush, right? And
is this the girl that you and I were talking about before?
Whoa, I mean, I'd say which one, but I don't want to divulge too many details about anonymous people on the podcast.
Spoiler. She wanted jewelry.
Try $750 bracelets.
Hold on. I need to push the mic away.
Wait, I sent this to you.
What?
Wait, I sent this to you. Wait a minute. Why am I even telling you?
Yeah, you did. That's why. That's why.
Oh, yeah. The same girl. And the thing is, like, I mean, I talked to her the other day, and she, like, we're 90% sure she was kidding. But because, like, I'm not even dating this girl. Like, we're just, like, friends. It's just, like, on the off fucking chance that she was serious. It's like, bro, if I purchased that for this woman, you would have to put me in, like, the farthest reach zoo in the world to be on display for everybody like a monkey NFT, bro, because I would be a goddamn chimpanzee. That, bro.
I literally, guys, like, when David showed me this, I think you sent me, like, a screenshot of the text conversation. I literally told him, like, I'm like, David, I already think less of you already.
You remember what I find? You people don't understand. I told this guy, like, yo, Dennis, but she's so hot. She's so hot, man. Dennis,
what did I say?
You literally straight up said, David, if you purchase those, because there was a $500 bracelet in there too. You straight up said, David, if you purchase those, I will lose every and any little bit of respect I have for you. And I'm like, too late, bro. I already did it. It's like fucking $1,500 in the hole.
And then I literally, like, sent him, like, this gif of, like, this Asian man who's just, like, you could just see the pain in his eyes. It's just like, and he, like, nods at the end. It's just like,
and you're like, okay, this is now the single D experience. Like, he quit. And I'm like, yo, could you imagine?
No, I didn't quit. I kicked you out.
Oh, you kicked me out of oh yeah, you know how to edit. You know how to edit the podcast, Denise? You know how to do this shit?
I could literally look at one YouTube video and I'll know.
Oh yeah, those YouTube videos that start with the heavy, like, dubstep bass line with that shitty intro that lasts like 5 minutes that nobody cares about. And then that video fucking starts and they're like,
wait.
Hi guys. Today we're gonna
no, David.
A video on how to use Sony Vegas.
No, David. No, it starts like this, like, hello. Today we're going to learn how to cut and trim videos on Sony Vegas.
Why does he sound like a fucking customer service?
Because, come on, David, you watched these videos.
You know those customer service guys do not have the time for anything else, first of all. They're probably working longer work weeks than I am.
They probably live at their call centers, like Loki.
Facts. They probably don't even get like a mattress. They probably make them sleep under their fucking desk like a hidey hole.
I still remember, like, I had a friend whose sister worked at Goldman Sachs.
Why do you
for a
do
while.
an Indian accent so well?
I do it a little too well.
You really do.
I really can't have Indian friends because, like, I just have, like, way too many jokes of them and about them.
Oh.
Like, I remember, like...
It's Aladdin, motherfucker.
It's like, hello, my friends. Welcome to the Double D experience. Today, we're going to talk about NFTs and why they are not a scam. Yes, I know you may have heard differently on Twitter and everywhere else on Reddit, but they are not a scam, my friends. And I'll tell you why. So you see, the art comes from your computer. But that's the thing, it stays on your computer. And by the gods of Vishnu and Kari, they will stay there. Welcome and thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Please like and subscribe.
So anyway, Mort got us in a fucking car wreck. And now I'm forced to start selling NFTs to pay for my medical bills, Maurice. Fuck, I fucking hate the American healthcare system. Fucking A.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay, you had a friend. Goldman Sachs.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone...
Fucking God, right out the gate.
I don't know if anyone here
Oh.
has ever worked as an accountant or as a CPA. But she told me stories once that, like, she straight up, like, during tax season, she would literally, along with other employees, literally sleep under their desks and, like, work to get all that shit done and everything. So, I don't know, man. It's kind of nuts.
That dude.
Holy shit.
I mean, you talk about the people peeing in their fucking jars over at Amazon and shit, bro. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed, but not surprised. You know, it's funny that I ran into this girl I went to high school with at my work recently, and we briefly caught up for a little while. And I think she's a professional money lady. I think she's like an accountant at some place. And I probably should have asked her, like, do you sleep under your desk? Just breaks down like a lone tear like falls from the face, just like, my back hurts so much.
It's like, and then she starts to get real dark. It's like, David, I haven't even seen my dog. I don't even know if it's still living.
I miss my daughter. Oh man, that's fucked. But okay.
Office culture is no joke, guys. Like, at least places like that, like Goldman Sachs, of course. But
Goldman lick my sack. Haha, that's
But,
a funny joke. Huh?
if there is only one topic that I'm gonna be talking about today, it's literally Halo Infinite, and how we're T-minus now from today, 2 days away from the campaign. And my fucking God, I haven't felt this excited over a damn story-driven campaign for Halo in a long time.
You know, sometimes until you become like an old man, you don't get that little tickle in your balls and like your heart that you get, you know, when you see something that like really you can't wait for so much. There's so much anticipation for it that you feel like a child again. Not many games I can say have done that for me and have gotten that way. Mario 64 is like my favorite video game ever made because for too many reasons for me to list. The whole podcast would be about it, but mainly because to TLDR, that game taught me what the human imagination could do. And the only game in recent years that gave me that same feeling, at least playing it by myself like a single-player game, was Super Mario Odyssey. I just wanted that game to never end. Never end. And that game doesn't start until after the credits. Like, the post-game content of Mario Odyssey is fucking absurd. There's so much to do in that game. It's ridiculous.
Oh, so there is post-game content.
The game does not... It's mostly post-game content. Like, it's already a very substantial main game, but then after the game, there's so much shit to do. Like, more worlds to go to, more moons to collect, all that shit, more outfits to gather, all that stuff. Achievements, the whole shebang. There's just way too much shit. So, trust me, Only reason I'm saying that is because I understand what you mean. You feel like a kid again, don't you?
I do.
Oh,
I'm basically
beautiful.
approaching 30, and like I feel like I don't know, like yeah, like as you said, excitement like that. Like I haven't felt that way for a game in a long time. Like I have a few other games that I'm still like eagerly anticipating and waiting for after this year, like in 2022. But when it comes to Halo, at least, like there's just so much like nostalgia that's kind of been being driven to kind of drive up that hype for me. And I'm sure everyone is also like, at least they remember the hype that Halo had like from years ago when like Xbox was, honestly, I believe by that point was the dominant system. I'm not like saying any console war shit here, but like there was no other game around the early 2000s, like from 2001 to 2005, I think, that got people that much hype and excited as Halo.
The 360 really owned the generation of hardcore gamers. You know,
Yeah.
every console was, you know, very high-end, pretty successful. There were people who had PS3s. Obviously, it was the same gen as the fucking Wii, which, you know, is still the only console that's high. Wait, do I have this wrong? Oh, yeah, no, I think the Switch surpassed. Did the Switch surpass the Wii or the D? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But, point
It
is,
could be
it's like-
both for all I know.
No, the Switch surpassed one of them. It's the second highest Nintendo selling Nintendo console.
Oh, it's the second highest?
Yeah. Above it is either.
Oh, I thought it was the first for sure.
No,
Oh.
not yet. But it's going to be. The Switch still has like 4 or 5 years in its lifespan. It's going to break that record for sure.
So that record is for
it's
like
either the DS or the Wii. I don't remember which one's above it.
Yeah, but the record is basically for like the entire lifespan of the product, like
Yes.
that, like the amount of sales that were within that lifespan.
Yes.
in total.
Lifetime sales.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm pretty
Oh,
sure it's the
wow.
DS, but yeah. But the 360,
be,
man, like iconic.
Iconic and generation defining. Not to mention even like it basically like launched the whole idea of online gaming like into the mainstream, really. And I mean, around that time already, we had like PC games that like, we had Ventrilo. Everyone remembers Ventrilo, and I don't know if anyone here still uses it for that matter, but we had like at least that kind of community and that sort of, I guess, like sort of way of playing like back in those days, like but the thing was that I don't think anyone could argue, even if whether or not you are a console or PC player from even back in the day or now, like I don't think anyone can deny that like Xbox Live was what basically catapulted that whole even idea into like the mainstream. Like there were millions of people on Xbox Live by that point, like fucking millions of people. It's almost astounding, even considering how many people we know that are online gaming today, right? Which is obviously like maybe easily like completely dwarfs whatever number there was in the Xbox Live days.
Of course.
But like the very fact that Microsoft had this entire population of people within their own belt, that's the thing. Like these were millions of people that were exclusively, for the most part, like on Xbox Live. And it was, I believe it was a paid service, and I think it still is, obviously, but like, people were more than willing to shell out like $50. I believe it was 50 a year, 50 a year, or 50 a month, I think.
Oh man, I don't remember. I'm gonna Google this.
Yeah, and because like they just wanted to play online. They wanted to play with their friends. They wanted to trash talk and call other people's mothers a whore. They wanted to like say the N-word as loud as they could, like on Xbox Live, and it's really astounding too, because like David, I know you're not like a Halo player at all, but like it was really funny because like Infinite, its multiplayer has been out for the last like couple weeks now because they decided to release that portion of the game early, and it's also free for anyone who has maybe out there in the audience who's still kind of on the fence about maybe whoever played Halo and is kind of thinking about coming back. Infinite is a free to download and free to play. There is obviously monetization in there. There is lots of microtransactions in there, and the progression system at the moment, it has a lot to be desired. I'm not going to go too much into it, and it's been the talk of news on the Halo subreddit for a while already, and a lot of shit already went down, like, and people were even calling death threats and doxing members of the fucking of the dev team, which I do not condone at all. But right now, at the very least, like, the game is at least the multiplayer side of things, because the campaign's still yet to come out. The multiplayer side of things is very solid, and as a foundation, it is very, very well made. And I would be more than willing to at least like give my not seal of approval, I guess, but like at least my endorsement that if you were looking for another shooter to play, since Battlefield 2042 was such a fucking dumpster fire, as well as Call of Duty Vanguard also being a pretty big disappointment as far as like
you fucking ruined
did you
my
wait
joke.
so oh,
I was literally gonna be like, no, that's dude, free to play. That sounds like shit. I'm gonna go play a good game like COD Vanguard or Battlefield 2042. And you
but that's
fucking
the thing,
couldn't
though. Like,
shut up for 1 minute.
Look, I told you that this was something that I was going to be talking about, David. You should have known that ahead of time. I'm sorry. That's just your lack of foresight, you fucking idiot.
How am I the fucking
Anyways.
idiot? What do you mean foresight? I knew you were gonna talk about it. I didn't know that I wasn't gonna be able to get my jokes in.
Okay, but I mean,
We're
at
gonna
the
be
same
constant.
time, though, at the same time, though, it's like everyone kind of was comparing those three games in particular, like COD, Battlefield, and then
Literally
also
no
Halo.
fucking contest.
Like everyone,
no meme.
yeah, literally. Like, I mean, and people were even saying, like, yeah, like the same as David has said, like, you know, it's like, well, I mean, there's really no other game to even compete with Halo right now. And at the very least, like, people were even saying, at least Halo Infinite came out, like, kind of finished
Yeah.
compared to these other two.
And at least if you buy like, at least if you play Halo Infinite instead, and you don't buy Vanguard, you don't hate women. You know what I mean? There's that as well. As well as, you know, Battlefield 2042 just has some of the shittiest business practices in there. There were so many empty promises that just didn't come through for that game when it came out. And, like, I've heard a lot of people say they really love the core game itself, but that just, like, it just has, like, every shitty fucking, like, modern game stigma in the book, you know, in-game currency, gotcha
and it's also
prices,
EA.
unfinished shit, baseless, bland operators that, like, at this point literally don't have any backstory or anything to them. So it's like they promised there were going to be, like, operators that had, like, unique backstories and stuff and, like, different attributes to make you like them, and that didn't happen either. Like, they really did the bare fucking minimum from what I've been told for that game, so.
And not to mention, even, like, as far as the Battlefield series goes, like, they only... And it's kind of weird to say, because I still love this one Battlefield in particular, and it's Battlefield 1, and it takes place during the First World War, and I still play that game.
Oh, you mean the one that has, like, black people fighting for the Germans?
Yeah. Which, I mean,
Points for realism.
Points for realism, sure, but, like, those African troops only fought within Africa. Like, the main Imperial army that was fighting in the Western Front didn't particularly have too many of them.
Wait, the Germans actually did have, like, some African soldiers?
Yeah,
didn't know that.
because around that time, the Germans had colonies within Africa.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the Africa and even this one port city in China called Tsingtao. So Germany, by that point, at least by the beginning of the World War I, did have a colonial empire. It obviously wasn't as huge as fucking Britain and France, but at the same time, like they were an imperialist power for the most part. But going back, like, you know, as far as, because, like, holiday seasons, I almost feel are just so important for, like, a lot of, like, main AAA title games. Like, if that's where your release window is, like, you cannot fuck up. I almost think. I mean, in general, you can't really you can't really afford to fuck up, but I've just seen, like, so many companies, like, literally throw, like, I guess not caution to the wind, but, like, they just have, like, this attitude now where it's like, it's broken now, we'll fix it later attitude.
People will buy it. You know, it's like
and
people
will buy it.
You know, so it's like, why, you know, do this now and we fix it later? Like, all the shit in, like, one of those past Diablo games where the devs promised a lot of shit and then they kind of just didn't do it.
Didn't it also take, like, 2 expansions for them to even make good on, like, half of their promises even?
Dude, the industry, like, low-key, like, kind of fucking sucks.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
'cause-
lie. It's like all these like business
Yeah.
practices are getting more and more common. Not to mention the fucking NFT shit in Fortnite and all those other games and shit, which also
There was
fucking
actually
blows.
There was even a game on Steam that actually enabled NFTs as like a I believe a source of currency that you could use, and it got blasted on Steam.
Yeah, because
reviews.
Steam
Yeah,
deliberately banned
Yeah, no,
NFT shit
yeah,
from their
exactly,
platform.
yeah. So that's why like I'm like thinking like
How did
you
they
know,
even sneak those in? How did they get that past
Really?
Gaben?
which I even thought too to myself because like Valve for the most part like they're very like not like gatekeepers but they're very protective of like especially the platform that people use to sell obviously and purchase like games off of it. Like they're very protective.
Valve
of
is fucking based. I still
Yeah.
love Valve. I mean, they don't make games anymore, but I still love Valve.
I really still wish Valve could also like kind of have like could like make a whole new branch within their company that just solely focuses on game development. Because at the very least, like I understand too that like the like let's say upkeep of at least maintaining Steam the platform is very important because it's like also like that's like Valve's identity now is at the very least like that, and also obviously the Steam Deck and among other couple things, especially Steam VR that they've obviously put in. Like Valve has grown obviously from the Counter-Strike and Half-Life days of like their company's history to now being like essentially a production company, I'd almost like to say.
I mean, as it gets memed about on and on again, you know, they spent 9 years developing Team Fortress 2, and then almost as much time updating the game afterwards. So whenever people cry that Valve doesn't care about TF2 anymore, I mean, I get that, but I also really get it on Valve's end. I don't fucking blame them. Like, their kid is 18 years old now. It's time for them to get out of the house.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's time for them to live on their own. It's like, she's 18, raised them for, like, 18 years, you know, it's out here. It's time for them to live in the real world.
And the kid, like their baby has like plenty of life experience now too. Like it's ready to leave the fucking nest. And not to mention even outside of TF2, Left 4 Dead 2 as well got an update a while back. And these I think I don't remember if it was officially from Valve that actually
I think it was
pushed it. Okay, so they did push that patch. And it addressed obviously a lot of issues that it had. Not to mention even adding additional content into it, which at the very least,
was it
to me proved.
I think it was. Oh, never mind. I think it might have been a community update. It says the Last Stand community update, or simply the Last Stand update, is a 4th DLC for Left 4 Dead 2, and made by Left 4 Dead community members. It features the Last Stand 2 map campaign, 20 new survival maps, 4 new scavenge maps, 30 new achievements, and much more. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. That it was the community who made that update.
And but at the same time though, like that was like. They probably brought like the very fact that they even like endorsed that update too. So like at the very least, like it shows that hey, Valve does give a shit at the very least. Like they, and the thing is too, like Valve has also made a lot of shit that's lasted till now, like Source Filmmaker. Not to mention even like the very Half-Life 2 engine that people still fucking use to this day, like. We got Counter-Strike off of Half-Life 2's engine.
Yeah.
And that is one of the most well-played, like, most, one of the most played games in the entire world at the moment.
A Source Filmmaker literally has some of the greatest short action films I've ever seen in my life. Like, look up, like, I'll even put this in the description. Look up, if you want to see some of the greatest Source Filmmaker movies ever made, look up Crash Mall on YouTube. And watch any of their TF2 videos. Watch the Battle for Sawmill for sure. Like White on Spy. What's the other one? Meet the Rabbit Heavy Taming Engineer and the Hightower Battle. I forget what the first one is called, but that's like one of the first ones they made. And literally, they are some of the best action films. Period. I've ever seen. Like, these sequences are literally that good and so epic and enticing to watch that I've found myself coming back to them over and over again, especially with how smooth the animation is. So, yeah, Source Filmmaker is definitely one of the, it's one of low-key the biggest gifts that Valve gave to the community way back when they released Meet the Pyro back in 2012. I think, or whatever year it was that they released that video finally. I don't remember.
Was the program was it free on release, or
I don't think so. I don't remember. It might have been. Was Source Filmmaker free on release? Yeah, free tool that lets users create animated movies using assets from Team Fortress 2. Meanwhile, God forbid, fucking, some other companies that you'll do something like that. That's to get that DMCA, and then they do it themselves. Kind of explains why Nintendo shut down all those other Smash circuits.
I mean, also, like, people will even argue, I'm sure, like that Nintendo had the Super Mario Maker, which was like, hey, if you ever wanted to make your own Mario game,
they've
or
shut down a lot of those before, yeah.
Like, which kind of tells me, yeah, like, there's really no community out there that loves their company as, I mean, I guess I don't know love if even is the right word, because like I only know like
supports. Supports is more. I wouldn't go with love.
Yeah. Because like obviously I'm pretty sure like Valve has, like every other company out there in the world, they're not exactly squeaky clean. Like they've done probably maybe not like really scummy shit like EA and DICE have in the past, but like maybe like at least things that did piss off like their community. Because at the very least, like the one sticking point is that they still haven't made Half-Life 3, which I'll be honest with you, I never played Half-Life 1 or 2. I've played plenty of mods off of Half-Life. I've played many of games that obviously did use the engine. And it's, I could at least commiserate and understand like where a lot of people like, because I don't even know if like the let's say the want of a new Half-Life game, because I know they had Alex that came out, which I think was I don't know if it was strictly VR, but I'm pretty sure you were still able to kind of play it normally. But like the very fact that people specifically still want like a Half-Life 3 like is almost sad and almost admirable to see, just because at the very least, like,
I think it's mostly sad.
Yeah, because like, Valve and especially Gavin doesn't look as if he's gonna be even thinking about it. Like he doesn't even look as if he's gonna think about it at this point in time, just because at the very least, like where the direction of where Valve is going right now is completely different from game development. Now it's making peripherals. Now it's making like basically maintaining like Steam. It's also like putting out like products out there too, like the Steam VR set that like I'm sure everyone sees like on the Steam store every now and then. But the thing is too is that like, not a lot of companies also have like that sort of, let's say, turning point too, because Valve obviously like, I believe, I don't know what the history was before then, and I might have to maybe look up a video just to do a refresher, because like Valve as a company is honestly like one of the most significant, let's say, gaming based companies that have done so much for gaming in general compared to a lot of others, especially like PC gaming, because Steam essentially just brought in all of the games that you ever knew and loved into one platform. And that's what Epic is trying to do, but they are I don't know. Fucking the CEO says he swears that it's gonna surpass Steam, and I'm like,
don't put cringe on the timeline, bro. All right, come on.
I'm trying not to, but it's just like,
well, you just did.
People are trying so hard to be Steam, but like Steam, they got to where they are because of like they went into that market first and they did it for years.
Yeah, like I don't understand why so many people like try to do the new thing unless they can actually find a way to do it that much better. Sometimes you like have some lucrative deals or whatever. Like Ludwig Ludwig became the most subscribed streamer on Twitch during his subathon, and he now does not stream on Twitch at all anymore. He struck a deal with YouTube Gaming. That's where he is now, which that's amazing. It's the same thing that Ninja did, though. He might be doing the same thing as Ninja did, where he's just trying to get as much money out of these like streaming platforms as they can. But and relatively, the Smash community actually did something very similar, right? Where there's so many like so many locals and tournaments everywhere. There's an oversaturation of Smash tournaments, bro. There's like a new major like every 3 weeks at the most sometimes, and then sometimes there's one like every 2 weeks and shit. They a lot of them realize it's kind of stupid that these are posted on their own individual little shitty channels, right? Because it's like, okay, who's gonna see these? You know, it's a Smash local. You might not know all these players over here. You're not going to watch the pools matches because you've never heard of these guys. Unless it's like a high-profile name like Tweak or MKLeo or someone. You're not going to click on this to get this kind of view if it's on like a, you know, a lower subscribed independent channel rather than some of the big boys like VG Bootcamp and stuff like that. So, what happened recently, and I actually know a lot of people, I know people who work for VG Bootcamp now and do this kind of stuff. A lot of, even locals, as well as even some other major tournaments, they're streamed on their own independent channels sometimes, or if, you know, VG Bootcamp comes in, they'll stream it on there, but then the VODs are not uploaded to, like, their own independent little YouTube channel or whatever. They strike a deal with VG Bootcamp to upload the VODs to VGBC, where people are actually gonna see it.
Just to get that exposure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you're going to get you and your local, your little independent area of Smash or whatever. That's how you're going to get that a lot more known. Not from, like, trying to grow your own YouTube channel when there is a ridiculous oversaturation of Smash content that's just all the same video over and over and over again. Now it's different. You know, with VGBC, you can actually upload the VODs, like, right on there and stuff like that. Well, they're going to get way more views guaranteed and stuff like that. So, that just makes nothing but sense to me, and it's just another, like, little doc on why Smash Brothers the Smash community is just not of the real world. Because that's something so fucking obvious to, like, everybody else, but it wasn't to us for so long. Do you know what I mean? Like, outside companies, like, you know, people will, like, find some way to, like, go... Imagine, like, you and I, Dennis, we write a TV show, right? We're gonna strike a deal. Like, I'll be like, oh, it's... two dicks and a cooter, the greatest new sitcom airing on CBS this fall. Sounds like something that they would actually greenlight, but still, if you and I would want to go to, like, Netflix, right, or like CBS. I need to get my. I need to
All right,
get my
guys,
booster
we're
shot.
trying to pitch. We want to pitch the show to you. It's like, sir, this is a CVS.
I came to get my booster shot, but in the meantime,
It's like,
would you like
we
me to
don't
read
even-
my pilot?
We don't even go to their corporate building. We just go to, like, the CVS, like, in fucking Englewood or some shit, and just like, listen, they have this crazy idea, all right? And we just, like, babble on for like 30 minutes, and this guy at the register is like, sir,
And we want you in.
this is a CVS. You are also holding up the fucking line. You better get the fuck out of here.
This is a guy way in the back, just like, I like that. I like the idea. I like it.
Mom, and I'm like, my man, and then, like, I walk out.
And we want you to star in it. It's like, sir, I'm a pharmacist.
And, like, going back to even Valve and even, like, let's say even VG Bootcamp, like,
yeah.
it's no reason too, like why. I don't know how much, let's say, Valve, like, makes
Stop trying to compete. It's cringe.
yeah, like, and I'm not saying that competition isn't obviously good for the let's say for the market, but at the very least, like, you know,
Higher capitalism.
there really is no one better. Like even it goes for search engines too, and, like, I guess, like, there is like not even like capitalism hinted in this, but it's just like, you know, like, Google. I only go on Google.
Yeah,
I don't go on DuckDuckGo's Bing or whatever the fuck. Like, I go on Google.
Ask Jeeves.
Or Ask Jeeves, yeah. Like, I don't even know anyone if they even remember fucking Jeeves to begin with, considering, like, they took him off the damn logo, like, pretty early on, if I remember correctly.
Get
Like,
some F's in the comments for Jeeves.
yeah, bro. Like, Jeeves was our homie, man.
Yeah,
Like,
he just knew everything, man. He was the shoulder to cry on when I didn't know, like, off the top of my head what the square root of 123 was. What a legend, man.
Jeeves was up there with, like, Clippy from fucking, like,
Yo,
Microsoft
Clippy.
Word.
I always remember that Dimitri Martin sketch, bro. Like, you looks like you're trying to write a ransom note. Need some help? You should use stronger language. That'll get you more money. Like, suckle at the teat, bro. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that seems so obvious to, like, the rest of the world, but then you go back to the, like, you know, places like the Smash community where nothing there is done with, like, very many semblances of legitimacy? I said legitimism. Wow. That's not a word.
It's a new word today. David's vocabulary is expanding in the wrong direction.
Couldn't succeed at what I'm doing. Shoutouts to Bill Warts. All right. But yeah, because this is something that's actually, it bothered me a little at first. I got to derail the conversation here.
Go ahead.
So, I'm going to make something abundant fuckingly clear here. This is not a call out this is not a call out here. I'm not trying to talk shit about nobody. These are people that have been nothing but good to me. I'm not passing judgments. Frankly, I'd do the same thing if I was in your fucking position. But CEO was this weekend, Community Effort Orlando. That's one of the biggest FGC tournaments ever. They got Street Fighter, they got Guilty Gear Strive, they got like all like the fighting game tournaments, and Smash is there too. So a lot of the commentary blocks were done by a caster named handsth, who is one of the tippy top Smash casters at this point. And my man earned his fucking keep. He is literally one of the first of all, nicest fucking dude in the world. When I was at Overclocked, he offered me to stay at his place if I needed a place to go when I was staying at the Chavo Towers instead with my ex-girlfriend and my friends and stuff at the time when we were there because I was casting that event. Nicest guy in the world. He didn't even know me that well, and he offered that because I'm a friend of his friend. And so for top 96 of the tournament, right? And he was casting the event. He was fucking drunk. Like literally drunk. Like that's like for his paid commentary gig. He got drunk. And he was yelling so much on the fucking microphone and shit. Like he was like being really silly and stuff like that. Still, he kept his cool. Like he wasn't plastered or nothing like that. But like still, the thing is, I got no problem with that. I can understand people thinking it's funny. My problem isn't the fact that handsth did that. It was more so I was a little bothered by the sheer hypocrisy of the community's response. What I mean by that is they were all like, because the Smash community is one big, people like to support each other on there, and it's genuine, and I like to say that that's all genuine, but I mean sometimes it can be a little circle jerky for like people who are like in like the clique. Twitter really makes it seem like things are a lot more cliquey and worse than they actually are, right? I'm not trying to be like negative Nancy here, but fucking A, if I had enough clout in the Smash community where I could show up to my paid commentary gigs fucking drunk and get praised for it instead of getting called problematic or some shit. My God, imagine having that power, Dennis. Imagine having that power to get drunk for your
power
stream.
of clout.
It's the fucking, that's what I'm saying. So much shit in the Smash community is completely clout-based. It's fucking high school. We all know it. A lot of people like to shy an eye or whatever. And I could complain about that all I want, or you could network to like get to the place you want to be in the Smash community, whatever. I'm not saying like, oh, this is where I want to be. Why does he get to do that? No. handsth is one of the fucking finest casters in the game. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. I don't care. He's a legend. And the nicest guy in the world to boot. That's not what bothered me that he did it. It was the community's response, because I saw a lot of you same motherfuckers who were calling for alcohol to be banned at Smash events last year when the fucking Me Too wave in the Smash community was happening because you said it was unsafe to have that shit there. That was something that there was a big, easy consensus on. Egging this guy on for getting drunk on a fucking stream. One of the top casters there. So what the fuck happened? Like, dude, did you care? Did you actually fucking care about alcohol being at those events?
Manufactured outrage.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying I saw a lot of the exact same motherfuckers saying this was the greatest thing they've ever seen in my life. Meanwhile, when I get fucking drunk on like a stream or whatever, and I, start going off about Hitler was right, I get fucking canceled. Or say like, you're problematic, David. You're such an asshole. This guy should not have a social platform. God, what a bunch of snowflakes. Jesus. Ugh. I fucking hate cancel culture and this fucking stupid world. I'm memeing at this point. I want to make that abundantly obvious. I'm joking now. But still, you get what I'm saying at, right, man? It's something that kind of tickled my taint in the wrong way. Again, not that he got drunk to do his commentary block. I wish I could do that. I wish I had that fucking power. There have been times where I've been a little tipsy at, like, some top 8s for some events, but not, like, majors. Not fucking Smash majors. I'm lucky enough to get those gigs in the fucking first place, let alone show up to them fucking drunk. It was amazing. And it was funny. I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, again, it's not what bothers me. It's the same people who are like, ban alcohol at events. Everybody's so irresponsible. We shouldn't be drunk at Smash events. And they're like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. So funny. Like,
crying face emoji.
like,
Oh my god, so funny.
Exactly. The same motherfucker. And I'm talking about literally the same people. Like, I remembered that shit. I didn't mean to, but I did. Because I couldn't leave my house when I was reading all those fucking twitloggers. So I remember. Because there was a fucking virus outside that was going to tickle my taint in the wrong way again.
Well, there's still a virus out there now. It's just obviously more manageable.
I got vaxxed up on a Wednesday. But Lord, man, I just had to say that. I don't care. Call me cringe, whatever. That tickled my taint in the wrong way. I wish I could get drunk for my fucking commentary gigs, man. But whatever, man. I just thought it was kind of hypocritical. And what we were talking about reminded me of that because, you know, like, it's just... Stop, all you fucking Smash channels, stop trying to compete with VG Bootcamp. Unless your channel actually got, like, big enough or got big as them. Just fucking, like, strike a deal with, like, another one of these, like creators.
Suck the teat like everyone else.
Yeah. Like, that's how shit goes. I mean, that's how a lot of casters, like, wrote up on their jock. You know, it's because, like, they were really talented casters, but they don't get noticed because they don't know the right people. You know what I mean? I've been doing Smash commentary for like 5 years. I'm not as proactive with it as I used to be. The fact that I don't get gigs anymore, there's nobody to blame but myself for that. I haven't casted a tournament in like 3 months. What's up?
I have a question.
Well, what's up?
This just popped in my head and I wanted to ask before like it kind of left my head. But like you think for a lot of content creators now, like let's say the way you can like hold on, give me one sec. So for a lot of content creators now, whether on YouTube or wherever else, right? Like, is what platform you use also contingent on whether or not you're going to achieve success as a content creator? Because since, like, obviously Twitch and YouTube and a few others, obviously, like, are the platforms that everyone knows of, like, when they want to obviously be, like, content creators, whether it be Let's Players or even just talking streams, whatever. Like, do you think nowadays, like now more than ever, really, like it really depends on where like you yourself is situated at, that will determine whether or not like you will be successful in the long run?
Yes. It depends on what your content is and what you're trying to do.
Because I also think too, like even if like let's say you are like let's say the most like charismatic, like just most like lively person out there, like people love you, let's say, right? But if you're on a platform, let's say that obviously, as you said, even with YouTube, it's just so saturated now that like there's so many people that do everything. Really, there's just so like thousands of them like that do everything.
YouTube's kind of a special case because YouTube's all about knowing the algorithm. PewDiePie got as popular as he did because he moved around between a lot of different countries. And as a result, his videos were on the front page of YouTube for more than just Sweden. For multiple countries.
Consistently too, yeah.
Yeah, that's part of how he grew his audience as massively as he did. So YouTube's a special case because at this point, like, YouTube is all about, you know, the algorithm and the ads and whatnot, and just playing to that game, swearing a little less in your videos, or just not swearing in the first 30 seconds because that gets you demonetized or whatever, making sure your shit's not copyrighted. YouTube's about following all the rules, and you still just have to get lucky. Or at the very least, know how the algorithm works somehow. Why do you think there are so many fucking shit-tier creators out there that make the most garbage, like, vlog content imaginable in the world? Like,
I was gonna put us on that list, but
we don't make
vlogs.
Even close to that. What do you? I mean, this is technically like a blog. What we do in one way or another, it's technically like that, but you know, and that's also not what we do. Trust me. We try to do
Hey
that.
guys,
And it's cringe.
it's vlog 219. I'm going to go take a walk
No, like
in the
big
park.
fucking vlog. David kisses Dennis, and it's like my face with like my hands on my head and like with like the fucking Halo face on the camera and shit. Like it's so cringe. But
And then the next video is like Dennis leaves Double D experience. God, remember those days too? I know it's a bit of a tangent, but it's like insane how like that was like the fucking not the vibe, but I guess like that was like what was most popular around that time.
It still
was
is.
Let's Players and vlogs.
It still
I
is.
guess.
Log out of your YouTube account and then look at the front page. Look at how much changes. It's gonna be the most
Now
cringe content imaginable that's gonna be on your front fucking page.
I don't know. I guess maybe nowadays it'd be like lifestyle. Like I don't know if YouTube has like a genre for that shit because like they have a genre for everything now.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's like I guess vlog would be under that sort of umbrella, I guess. But yeah, go on.
Yeah.
I just had to mention that because it was just like, my God, that age pissed me off.
Yeah, I think it's all about maybe YouTube. It's about knowing the algorithm, following all those rules and stuff. So that's kind of a special case. But if there's any rule to communications, my friend, the golden rule of that is that the medium is the message. I've said this many times on the podcast before. You have to cater to the actual medium. You have to cater your message to the actual medium if you want it to speak properly. You know what I mean? So, like, if your main platform is Instagram or whatever, you not only have to know how to, like, work Instagram, use the filters and all that kind of stuff, but you have to cater your stuff around it. If you, like, trying to, like, maybe say, I don't know, like, advertise like your Let's Plays or whatever on Instagram and that's the only thing you've done on it, it might not work as much because it's not necessarily what the platform is built around. And same thing for like maybe sex workers. OnlyFans sort of just became about that. If you're trying to do something else on OnlyFans, it might not be the best platform for it. Patreon is the one that's more known for that. And unfortunately for gaming streams, Twitch is still essentially the number one place for that. None of us like it. A lot of people really dislike Twitch. They've done some really shady shit in the past, we all know. Hopefully YouTube Gaming makes its stride here by having Ludwig on its platform now. That was a huge risk to him. I mean, they probably paid him so much money for him to switch platforms like that.
Like we're just dumping money on him, just
Probably.
like begging him, like just come to us. Because YouTube,
Same thing, you remember
YouTube
Ninja
Gaming,
with Mixer? You remember what
Yeah.
Mixer did with Ninja? You remember that?
yeah, and like YouTube Gaming and Twitch, like they're like butting heads. Like this is like their versus match, like ongoing since like the last couple years now at this point. Just because at least like one or the other have taken viewership from each other, and like obviously like obviously when a company that's all based on like a certain population of like let's say people who just like engorge themselves on content, it's like you want those people only with you. You don't want them migrating otherwhere else. Like you don't want like let's say like a good chunk of them like moving to somewhere else to like go and see game streams or let's plays, whatever. And even like other platforms like talking about like let's say even Netflix too. It's like I'd like to say they were the ones that obviously started movie streaming online, and because obviously like Blockbuster was a little too late to that. Like that was like their main competitor. Like Netflix, a lot of people don't remember, was like exactly like Blockbuster's like mail-in service too.
I
They
remember
did the
that
exact
shit.
same thing, yeah. And I remember Sopranos had a fucking commercial about it. There was like a commercial where like deadass one of the guys, Tony Sirico, who he plays Paulie Walnuts within the show, and he's like obviously like a very like what the fuck you think you're doing, like kind of character, and like he's just hovering over this dude in his living room, and he has his like. And the guy's sitting down, and he's like, "What are you doing? Not buying the movies off of the Netflix?" And like he goes through this explanation as to like why you should get Netflix. And around that time too, like obviously like again, like Netflix wasn't the streaming service that we know and love today. But once they decided to shift over from that mail-in service to streaming, like that was it. Like that was their checkmate to anyone, especially Blockbuster, who was trying to compete with them. And of course, like, I'm not going to go through, like, obviously how Netflix basically, like, dicked on the fucking whole video, DVD, movie, like, sort of market or business environment. But it's, I don't know, like, it's just,
dude, I mean, there's still
where
the
the fuck-
one
I don't
in
know where the
Alaska. I mean,
You know, you saying that, I can't help but not be surprised since it's fucking Alaska.
Well, speaking of,
I almost forget Alaska as a state. Like, that's how, like, forgettable Alaska is. That's probably how they want it to be anyways. Like they know that they're part of the United States, but it's just kind of like, like, yeah, it's like, you know, they're not on the mainland.
have you ever seen the episode of Cory in the House where Cory accidentally gives Alaska back to the Russians?
Does he really?
Yeah. He's like on Air Force One, and like they're having like peace talks with like the fucking president of Russia, and he literally accidentally puts like the fucking deed to Alaska or whatever in the guy's hands. He's like, this is great peace offering. Thank you so much. And then like the president finds out, and he's like, what the fuck did you do? And then like it's so, and then he has to play like a game of Dance Dance Revolution with the fucking Tsar to get it back.
The Tsar? The Tsar's dead.
Dude, you know what I fucking mean, dude.
Well, like their version of Putin, I guess. They couldn't
it was
obviously,
actually, I
like,
don't even think it was
defame
Putin at the time. That show's fucking old. I don't know.
Putin's been president for a while
Yeah.
now. Like, last couple of decades. if anything.
Cory in the house.
I
It's a party every week, baby. Cory, check it out.
I wonder if Disney Plus has Cory in the House. They fucking better. Well, anyways, what I was going back to is just that at least, like, you know, everyone's made their own environments and they wanted to keep it that way. Whatever, let's say, like, you know, these companies, like, whatever population they've managed to, like, basically accrue and maintain, they wanted to keep it that way. But I don't know if they're also even worried too much, even because, like, you know, before, like, Netflix had a lot of movies that are now on their own media company's streaming service now. They had Godfather. They had plenty of other movies that were from Warner Brothers, Paramount, 20th Century Fox. They had fucking Disney movies on there too at one point. They had like Avengers and stuff like before. Obviously, that's when I think Disney realized, oh, we could do that.
Yeah,
it only took us 2 years.
Everybody said it was gonna fail too, and shit. Like, there's no way. It's like, dude, Disney has enough content, man. It's
but
not
Mandalorian, honestly to God though, like if Disney Plus did not have Mandalorian on release, no one would have given a fuck about Disney Plus. That's why Disney's also real smart on that, because they also knew that, well, no one really is gonna be like frothing at the mouth to watch Snow White on fucking Disney Plus. They want to watch like Star Wars. They want to watch like Avengers. They want to watch that kind of shit.
It was a good launch title, you know, like Melee.
Yeah,
There was like their
exactly.
launch title for Disney Plus.
And just like all launch titles, like I wouldn't say they make or break the life cycle of a fucking system, but like if GameCube shipped without, let's say, a headlining game, it would have been in fucking trouble. If it launched like, not that I'm saying it had to launch.
The GameCube's
Melee,
launch was ridiculous, man. Like,
Yeah.
fucking
I still
Luigi's
remember that.
Mansion, Pinkman, fucking Super Smash Brothers Melee, like that shit.
The lineup was solid
too
as
good.
far as launch title. Like as far as launch titles going, I think honestly was one of the best launch, let's say launch title roster in history.
Yeah.
I have not seen a lineup like that. That eventually all became like, I think they became instant classics overnight.
Yeah.
Honestly, like people still fucking love
Rebirths
Pikmin.
of
They
like
still
new
love-
franchises as well. Luigi's Mansion 3 sold more copies than like every single Zelda game combined except for Breath of the Wild. Like Luigi's Mansion is essentially it's on its way
Wow, I
to
did
become
not
its
know
own
that.
franchise. Yeah, or not every Zelda game combined. I think it sold more copies than every Zelda. I forget the statistic.
Maybe
but-
up to that
But
point.
Breath of the Wild
because
is the only one. I forget what the actual the thing was, but Luigi's Mansion 3 sold a ridiculous amount of copies, and
Yeah, because I knew it was definitely better, more well received than fucking Wind Waker, because Wind Waker got panned.
well,
I
Wind
think.
Waker didn't come out until years later.
Wasn't it only like 2 or 3 after
Yeah.
like the? Yeah, so okay.
But still
okay,
years later. I mean,
Yeah. As far as games, like not a game, but like at least a console's like lifespan.
Yeah.
But like fucking Switch, like these guys at Nintendo are saying like, yo, this fucking thing's gonna be going into 2035 and shit, and I'm like what the fuck do you
the
plan on like
Switch-
adding to this
The
thing?
Switch had Breath of the Wild at launch, and that's it. that's
But
it.
to be fair, was a hell of a launch title by itself.
No, I know.
Really.
It's just you have so many of the other ones. Like
it's-
the 3DS became one of Nintendo's greatest consoles ever. Oh my god, that thing had dick. when it fucking came out. It had
Yeah.
nothing. Had Legend
Wii
of Zelda
Sports was
Ocarina
fun,
of
though.
Time 3D, Star Fox 64 3D, Pilot Wing 64 3D. It was a bunch of fucking N64 ports. That's all it had at launch. Straight
And
up.
it had a pretty shitty Metroid game on launch on launch too, I believe.
what?
I remember I had two friends.
Metroid
re-
game?
I was. It was like a kind of a tech demo type of thing. They've shipped it off as its own game, but like the vibe I got from it was that like this doesn't feel like an adventure type of thing. It felt more just like a Metroid. I'm a ball and it's a puzzle type game.
I think that was
forgot
for
the name
I think
of
that
it.
was for the DS, not the 3DS. That met.
Oh, for the
that
oh
Metroid
yeah,
Prime
yeah,
game.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit,
yeah.
sorry, I'm like a little scattered.
No
brain here,
no worries. You're all
but-
good. You're all good. But yeah, the fucking
but-
the GameCube, amazing.
Yeah, I think did the Wii ship with Twilight Princess?
Yes.
Like, did it really?
Yes, it
As
did.
a launch title?
Yes, it did.
Okay, all right then.
Yeah, it
I
had
did not
Twilight
know
Princess.
that.
It had Wii Sports. It had a game called Elebits. There was a Monkey Ball game out at launch. But yeah, it was when it faltered after that. Again, the GameCube just had way too many bangers on day one. It was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
like I think it still is obviously like honestly like Nintendo's like best launch like period in history.
Agree. If I'm being
There's really, like,
honest.
There's really not. I mean, before then we had the N64, right? And I think N64 also came out with plenty of bangers by themselves. Like obviously officially licensed Nintendo games, like Diddy Kong Racing, which I still think is better than Mario Kart Racing. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Mario Kart
if you love
64 aged like wine with cum in it.
I almost feel I almost feel too.
Like Mario Kart
that,
64
like,
is so fucking overrated. That game is not good.
that and also the fact that like where it is now too. Like I mean I don't know. Double Dash was like obviously I think it was peak Mario Kart.
I disagree.
Like I don't know, man.
Ooh,
'Cause,
you want to
like,
have this debate?
No, I don't even. I'm not even trying to have a debate. It's just because, like, at least I know that this all stems from my bias because I grew up with fucking Double Dash, and
So
I don't
did
even
I,
care what.
motherfucker, and I
I
acknowledge
know,
that
but
it's trash.
hold on, wait. Let me finish. I don't give a fuck what you would have to say anyways because it's not gonna change my mind regardless. We could have this fucking argument till like the fucking the cocks crow and it's Judgment Day and the trumpets sound. I am still gonna say that Double Dash was the better Mario Kart game.
How are you gonna know if we don't try?
Because I played the other ones and I don't give a fuck about them. And not to mention, I even think too that Mario Kart still does this stupid, really borderline retarded thing where they handicap the guy at first place. I really hate that shit. And it's the reason why that I really wish Diddy Kong Racing had a HD remake or something because it's the better fucking racing game.
Yeah, they'd only got the DS port.
And the DS port was terrible. It wasn't even that well received.
I mean, I liked it.
It wasn't that well received though. People weren't like saying like singing its praises or whatever. I mean, most of the time when it came to the DS ports, no one really like we're like, oh my god, this adds to the game. It's amazing. Like no one really gave a fuck when Super Mario 64 and DS got Wario and a few other characters. No one gave a fuck.
I'm cringe.
Oh, Banjo. I love how Banjo sounded like Goofy from fucking Disney.
That was the
It
first game
sound
Banjo was ever in. Yeah. Before he was even in his own. Yeah, but the N64's launch wasn't as good either. Mario 64, Pilot Wing 64, Star
Ocarina of
Wars
Time?
Shadows of the Empire, and Turok Dinosaur Hunter. No, Ocarina wasn't a launch title, dude.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
Yeah, like for the GameCube, like for those of you who didn't grow up with the GameCube who might be younger than us, imagine you like the Switch is your first console, right? And it drops with Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and fuck. What's the last? What was the last one? This is really fucking good. Splatoon. I mean, Splatoon 2 was a launch title. Or it came out in April, I think, like the month afterwards.
Did the first Splatoon came out for the Wii U?
Yes, that was Splatoon 1. I mean, but the point is, like, imagine that, like, 3 major franchises, 3 fucking core Nintendo franchises get a launch title for like, the fucking console. That hasn't happened since the GameCube. Like, it's like, like, even the SNES. Like, imagine Super Mario World, fucking, not Link's Awakening, fucking Link to the Past, and, what's another really good fucking SNES game?
Did you say Super Mario?
I said Super Mario World. All right, well, you get it. They both have layers.
No, yeah.
All right, you know.
Launch titles have
layers.
layers. Console launches have layers. You get it. Then video game developers have layers. You get it. We all have layers.
Oh my god. Well, yeah. Well, I have a story. This is a pretty interesting thing that happened recently to me. So I was just leaving for work the other day, right? Heading up my street, derpa-derpa-doo, burr, and then all of a sudden, at full speed, I see this dog run out from behind this person's house, like from behind like their backyard, and just dips across the street and starts booking it up all the way up the street. Fast freaking thing too, like non-stop, like looking around, just like running, you know, like got to ride like the wind.
Did it look like one of those show dogs?
Not at all. It looked like more like like a little husky or like a German Shepherd shaped kind of thing with the pointy ears. So my first reaction, I was like, oh no, like I thought like somebody
ran towards you.
I thought somebody's dog escaped, you know, from their house. So I was like, oh no, somebody just lost their little fur baby. So I did the fucking Samaritan thing, and I quickly parked my car on like the curb at the side of the street, and I started fucking chasing this thing. And I'm like, I'll save you. I'll get your little doggy. And this thing, listen, man, I can't keep up with it. It's not a matter of a lack of cardio.
Yeah.
It's because this thing was fast. I'm talking like fucking like opening of cars, like, you know, like you got like Owen Wilson talking to himself like speed.
Yeah, like
I am
the dog.
speed. Down. Oh, maybe I could get like a nice sponsorship. No, focus. Speed. Like that was this fucking dog. And then it just like ran into another person's backyard, like through some bushes or whatever, and it was gone. So I ran through this person's backyard, right? And I was even looking around for it. I was like, oh, man. And then I turn around me, and there's this lady in the window. There's just this pregnant lady just looking at me and just, like, laughing. And she's, like, making the gestures just like, oh, you saw that thing, right? Like, I'm, like, sort of communicating with her through the window. You saw it, and then she
using your hands.
Yeah, like, using our hands, right? And then she comes out, and I'm like, dude, you saw that, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I felt so bad. Was that somebody's dog or whatever? And she's like, no, I've actually seen that before. I took some pictures of it before. See right here? And she showed me a picture of it, right? I'm like, why would you have a picture of the dog? Yeah, it turned out, I didn't realize this because the dog actually didn't have a collar on or anything and looked relatively dirty. That wasn't a dog. That was a goddamn coyote.
Oh, no, wait.
Yeah,
I don't believe you.
Listen, man, she showed me the pictures of it. She's apparently seen it around the neighborhood before. It didn't.
Teaneck has fucking coyotes?
Evidently.
Yo, is this like when that fucking dumb fuck brought alligators and shit to Florida? Like some guy was like, like, you know, this will disrupt the ecosystem of New Jersey.
Alligators literally do have layers. So, I mean, but straight up, I started to piece like 2 and 2 together. And I'm like, oh my god, you sure there was and it explained why it was running so much, like, and seemed to know where it was going, like moving around, just trying to get the fuck away from like suburbia. And then I realized, like, oh shit, it didn't have a collar on. Like, I realized that, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, my God, that makes sense. And I'm just, like, laughing with this lady, and I'm just like, yeah. You know, it's a good thing I didn't catch up to it. That would have been bad. That would have been really bad. I would have been like, oh, come here, sweetheart. Let me see your collar so I can take you down. No, doggy, no. Like, straight up. Thank God I actually didn't catch up to that thing. That actually would have been really fucking bad. But straight up, that's what it was. It was a coyote. It had like that brownish fur and everything, all raggedy looking, no collar. And that thing was faster than a dog. First of all, it was definitely faster than a dog with the way it was running. So, yeah, what I did is that on the way to work, I called like I called the non-emergency police number because I'm just like, okay, someone should be aware of this. Literally, I'm like, someone should be aware of this. So I'm just like, yeah, there's a goddamn coyote in my neighborhood. I know you're just like the police function or whatever, but like maybe you could like contact some sort of animal authority or whatever, because I just feel like someone should know. And now they do. So that is why my in-game, my in-call tag is Coyote Peyote, Dennis.
Peyote. Well, David, you want to know us? Like, I'm gonna close this podcast today with a story that's not as nearly interesting, but honestly, it has not happened to me in so fucking long that like it honestly like, and it was painful.
Before you do,
this
though,
shit.
what would you do if you saw a Coyote Peyote?
How far away am I from it? Can I at least get like a book and start to my car before it comes to chase me?
Nah, your balls to the wall. For like no reason, you're just...
I mean, what the fuck? I guess I'm just dead. I'm dead. I can't do anything. I'm just fucked. What the fuck can I do?
Okay, never mind. That's a dumb question, alright? If you were a moderate distance away from it, it doesn't see you yet, but you realized it's there, and so you can't be too loud.
But you know the thing is, too? Because this is how, like... I'm gonna say it. This is how stupid I am. Like, I'm a real, like, even though I don't look it too much, like, I'm very much a sucker for dogs. And, like, me and my dumb ass would, like, baby. Go, yeah, I would, like, get shit out of my car to, like, feed it and stuff. And, like, it'll yeah.
And that's literally the worst thing you can do, yeah.
I know. Like, that, like, but not like that I'm gonna give it chocolate or some shit. Like, it's like, I would be that kind of guy that like would probably go to like a CVS or some shit and like get some dog food and just like leave it out there for them and like to eat or whatever. Because I remember at least in Edgewater, like there was like a lot of those cats that were nearby like the Target.
Like bodega cats?
Kinda, yeah. Like, and I would just like get some shit from Target and I would just leave it there and they would eat it. And like I would just walk and go my merry way. There was like a lot of them. I think they're still kind of there, but like that's the kind of person I am. Like that's just like I'm not like a I love animals, like that kind of person. It's just like, yeah, like I don't do that either. Just I just have a soft spot for. Yeah,
sorry.
I probably would die. That's like because like it wouldn't hit me until it was too late, you know? Because it's like the thing would be eating my guts out, and I would just be thinking in my head like as I'm just being disemboweled by this fucking gigantic ass coyote.
I mean, it's a skinny animal.
But I've seen them grow pretty big, though. Especially the ones, like, out there, like, in their native habitat, you know, not fucking sunny New Jersey.
Well,
like,
they inhabit forests, believe it or not. They actually do. They're not like mountain animals. Or just mountain animals.
Even though they look like them, though. Like, they kind of look like the same type of, like, not like that they are bobcats, but like they look like the kind of like the dog equivalent of a bobcat.
You would think it's like that's mostly wolves, actually. You know, it's like coyotes.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but yeah, fucking thing. I mean, I had to alert somebody because you know people walk their dogs in this neighborhood, like the small dogs. Those things will prey on like your small dog if it sees it. You leave like a baby like alone for like a split second.
It probably ate a cat.
Oh, that's
like,
so sad. Like, oh man, I'd be so depressed if I saw like a lost cat sign. And I would have.
And like we have plenty of strays.
Yeah.
Like here in Jersey, like we see them everywhere. So it's like, you know. But yeah, going to my story. And again, guys, this is gonna be awfully disappointing. It's still kind of funny if you're into like slapstick pain, but. It's not nearly as interesting as David's story. So during the weekend, me and my girlfriend, we decided, like we're gonna go and get some veal parmesan sandwiches at this pizzeria in Fort Lee. And I had it prior, and it was fucking delicious. She was not a big fan, however. She gave it a 5 out of 10 because she said like she could barely taste the veal. So I'm like, all right, whatever. But I still love it. So like I had a good time at the very least. And guys, if you're around the Fort Lee area, Fort Lee Pizzeria is a fucking great location. I don't know if any of you guys in Fort Lee Pizzeria who work there like are listening to this, and I doubt you are. But if you are, then here's a free product placement and just endorsement from me to the audience. So we had our sandwich, had a good time, and we were gonna head out. And I do this thing. I've been called a maricon and a few other things for doing it, but I opened the door for my girlfriend and let her into the passenger seat, and I close it. Only this time, when I did it, my pinky got caught in between where the door was at and the other door. So my pinky got caught in that little hole there. And my God, it was painful. But the thing was, and it's really funny. This is how, like, I don't know, like, if this means that I'm, like, low-key retarded or not. But the pain really didn't hit me until, like, a minute or two after I got in. And, like, when I slammed it too, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, literally, like, audibly, you could hear, like, from across the street, a guy called...
Audibly.
Audibly, yeah. Like, from across the street, you could hear a guy go, oh, fuck. Like, think as my pinky got caught. And... So, but the thing was that, like, no, it was pretty funny because, like, I haven't had that happen to me in so fucking long. And I honestly think, like, anything finger pain related is not only obviously very painful because, like, the fingers for the most part, like, there's really not much, like, skin to, like, cushion whatever the fuck blow you may get onto your, like, fingernail or, like, let's say even just your fingers in general. But, like, the funny thing was that we were planning to go to a PC cafe over in Powell Park to play some Left 4 Dead. So the whole time when we got there, right, all you just see me is, like, you know, my hands on the mouse. Now imagine just my pinky flared out like that one episode from SpongeBob where Patrick tells him to, like, it's like, SpongeBob, Pinky up. Pinky. Literally, it was the entire time I was like just there killing zombies. You just see me, like, with my one pinky just flared out.
All I can think about with you telling me this story right now is that, like, you're not, like, a fucking idiot. You're just a cartoon character. That's what you are.
I'm a Tom and Jerry.
No, straight up, because you want. And do you want to know why? It's because you told me, like, the pain really didn't set in or register until 2 minutes later. Like, you know, like, those fucking sequences where, like, you know, like they're, like, getting the cartoon character in, like, Looney Tunes is, like, Jerry's, like, baiting Tom off of a cliff or something, and they're just walking on air, and then he suddenly realizes, I'm in the fucking air, and then he, like, looks down, and that's when he falls. That's you.
But, like, the initial pain was there, but I did not really feel it until, like, a minute or two afterwards. That's the thing. Like, the shock of it all and everything still hit me. But, and I'm not trying to defend myself here. It was just really, like, and it still fucking hurts from, like, the last, like, couple of days. It's a lot better now.
Good.
But, like, I was just, like, thinking in my head, like, yeah. I mean, but David, you want to know what was really funny?
Imagine fingering a girl with your pinky.
She's like, are you even in there? And it's just like, and, like, the guy's just like,
yo,
oh, like, it just shatters his whole world.
That would be funny as fuck. Oh my lord! Imagine, like, you're on, like, a first you're, like, in a new relationship or whatever. You haven't slept with a girl yet, right? And, like, you get kinky on, like, the first date. You blindfold her, and then pretend like you're putting, like, you know, your dick in. Yeah. But instead, you just trick her into thinking you have. You just trick her into thinking you have, like, a fucking micro dick by putting your pinky in there, and then you just see, like, her slowly frown, like, the disappointment on her face, like, no. Yo, it'd be even funnier. Oh, I really liked this guy too.
Yeah, it's like let's even imagine, like, she has a blindfold on too, right? And, like, you just, like, see, like, like, you can't see her eyes, and, like, the eyes are usually the most expressive part of your face. Yeah. But, like, you just see her mouth go from, like, oh.
And no, but at the end of the day, it's worth it, right? It's worth it because it's a bait. You, like, rip the blindfold off.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You, like, rip the blindfold up, and you're like, oh, JK, bitch, here comes the schmeat. Oh, my God. Oh, that'd be so fucking funny.
It's like, oh, babe, I'm about to put it in. It's like, oh yeah, go, daddy. And then it's just like, slip. She's like, oh, like, oh, like, oh yeah.
I can't,
No, but, like, let's say she's, like, real nice, so she's just kind of like, oh yeah, daddy. Yeah, I really feel that dick.
Oh my God.
And you just, like, and then we do as you said, like, just rip the blindfold off, just
and then you drop the hottest dick 2021. Dude, fucking. If a woman ever decides to hate herself enough to love me again, I'm gonna fucking. I'm definitely gonna do that shit. That's fucking funny. Oh my god, like, oh no. Oh, it feels so good, baby.
And the thing
I
is,
love
too,
it.
and
Then I rip the blindfold off and I like glisten my cock up with like lube or some shit, so it's like shiny, and be like, boom. It's a little bit bigger than my pinky.
You'll even like just straight up say like, "Gotcha, bitch," and like it just.
Like the fucking gotcha, bitch.
Yeah.
Gotcha, bitch.
And it's like, and then in your brain, you just tell yourself, it's like, I got this bitch now. Like, I got you, bitch.
Oh my
You're
lord.
mine now.
Literally, oh my god, like, listen, I come from fucking fighting games, man. If there's one thing I know in this world, it's baits.
Baits and combos, baby.
Oh, and that is a bait.
2-hit combo.
That is an actual bait and 2-hit combo.
The light and the heavy, right there.
Oh.
Light, and then heavy.
If you want to see what other cartoon antics that we can do, here's my
Also, real quick, yo, if it was any other finger that my thing got caught on, like, and I still remember this, like, one thing that I remember, like, was I zippered my dick.
Oh, I've done that once when I was young.
And that's like that's something you will never ever forget
to this day,
in your life.
To this day, that was probably some of the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life.
And getting my finger caught in a door. And this shit's happened to me plenty of times where like some shit of like part of my body like got caught in like an escalator or some elevator. I remember this was so fucking stupid. And after this, like, David, you do your plug. I remember when I was living in New York for a while with my family. And obviously everyone knows the NYC subway. And me as an idiot, I was like, you know how like the doors close and then after that the subway goes on its way, right? I like always tried to like he didn't get my hand, like, and I remember one time I legit let I know. And what happened was like the door caught my hand and I started bawling my eyes out. Like literally, I was like so scared that like I was gonna lose my finger or some shit.
Yeah.
And it was kind of painful too as a kid. But I remember like we had there was a guy in the car that we were in. Like he actually came over and like ripped the door open and like let my hand out. And I remember like my mom like profusely thanked him. And obviously, have you ever seen like an Asian woman like that in her native language, like thank someone? It's always very like, you know, like deferential and shit. But as soon as we sat down, my mom called me a straight up fucking idiot. Like, it's fucking stupid, dumb fuck. Like obviously not actually like that to like to a 3-year-old child,
yeah,
but like, you know, in her own like way, it's like basically saying like you are the dumbest child I've ever seen in my life. And if it weren't for the fact that I love you, like I would have dropped you off at the fucking shelter, you dumb piece of shit retard. Fuck.
Oh my god, I love it.
So yeah, that's like, yeah, don't do that.
Well,
that's my TED talk. Go plug yourself in, Dave. Fuck you.
All right, more cartoon violence if you think my voice is suited for it. Here's my Fiverr profile. Here's my Fiverr profile for the voiceovers. If you like the sounds of my voice, yeah. I can do YouTube videos. I can do your fucking character if you think my voice is good for it. I can audition for it. I do commercial work. I do promo work. All those good shebangs, all the different types of voice works. I don't really do audiobooks yet, just because that's a lot of talking, and I gotta train myself for that.
Yeah.
So
that's like a 2-3 day ordeal.
Yeah, I still think you should like try it. You've expressed interest to me, yeah.
I like
it. Maybe I'll buy you a class for Christmas or something. I don't know.
Yeah, give me a book and I'll like, I guess I'll transcribe it for you, and with my voice. It's like, and so, Johnson opened the door, and saw his neighbor Ted, with his wife on all fours, on their very bed, plowing her like it was a Tuesday snow day. And my God, was she loud. This was the end of Chapter 2. Chapter 3. The fucking.
And it was only after.
And it was only after Mr. Johnson took off his wife's blindfold that she saw the monster dong that he had been packing this whole time. They were consummating their marriage for the first time and saved themselves for this particular occasion. She had never before seen the Schmeat in all of its glory.
But she was going to experience it firsthand tonight on July 21st,
With his neighbor watching.
2023, with his neighbor watching. And also, believe it or not, the neighbor brought his family too. And they brought their family. And pretty soon, it was the most awkward fuck of the century within that hotel room.
The whole neighborhood came. Plug. All right, it's getting to that point. Plug the fucking socials.
Twitter, not Facebook, Instagram, all the podcasts. See you guys tomorrow.
That's Radio Breaker. That's fucking. I gotta make I gotta get a new because me or Dennis don't use iTunes, so we don't have the iTunes link for the podcast. But we are on Apple Podcasts as well as
Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
yeah,
Google,
Anchor.
all the platforms you could possibly think of. We're on there. We might even throw it up on SoundCloud one day.
Yeah, I wish SoundCloud was part of Anchor, but it's not for whatever reason. So
is it not?
Yeah, so I would have to like manually upload it on fucking SoundCloud, and I'm not shitty enough of a rapper to have a SoundCloud.
David, if like one day you told me that, I'm gonna be like Dennis, I'm gonna be a rapper. I'm gonna support
Dennis,
you.
we've both seen the video.
but-
You know what we have to do.
No,
if
no,
one
no,
of us chooses to become a SoundCloud rapper.
No. And I will be your first hype man of your crew.
Oh, facts.
yeah.
Oh, let's go. You'll be my spiritual, lyrical individual.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Like you'll be like, yeah, he got it in the thing, and I'll be like, he got it in the thing.
A flippity skippity flippity skippity flippity skippity. Fuck Drake. And the government's corrupt.
It's corrupt.
Fuck the government. All right, we're done. That's
we're done.
That's been the Double D Experience, guys. We will see you next week. Thank you all so much for listening. We love you. And
like, comment, and subscribe.
yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. You better like and subscribe, subscribe.
Guys, I'm gonna be starting a new challenge where you have to stick your dick in between the subway doors and let it catch you. Bye.
I don't even think a fraternity would do that.
It's New York. They probably would do it.
If you paid them enough.
Yeah.
Bing bong.
Bye.